Oh,
Now
well,
that we're back at the camp, I
welcome
want to
back.
talk about what happened at Redcliffe.
Okay.
I just wanted to thank you. You went out of your way to save the Isle's family, and you did it. Even though it would have been easier not to. There's been so much death and destruction. Well, it makes me feel good that at least we were able to save something. No matter how small. I owed the Isle that much. You're right. Hopefully, by that time, there's still enough of Ferelden left to save. Good. Now that the warm, fuzzy part of the day is over with, we can get back to the ritual dismemberments. Oh, wait, it's not Tuesday, is it?
Okay. Welcome back to Dragon Age Orchard. Hold on. Do I have Sten's sword? What was that?
Strange.
Hi.
I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war.
Wait,
My
enough.
sword is in my hand again. I should put it to use. And I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Then lead the way.
Why are you guys?
I have been mistaken.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
Why not?
Questions like this certainly contributed to the impression. The day will come when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield. In time.
There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
Speak, then.
Okay.
Then I suggest we move on.
And
This is my mother's amulet. It has to be. But why isn't it broken? Where did you find it? Oh, the Arl study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall. And he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that? I guess you could be right. We never really talked that much. And then the way I left... Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... When he recovers, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago. Did you remember me mentioning it? Wow. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things.
your friend, of
I
course.
don't know
remember.
what to say. I'm honored. Thanks again.
You're welcome. We love Alistair. Alistair, are you going to mention your sister since we're going to be heading to dinner soon?
You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you.
Okay.
Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up.
Yes, and I have to make a bad decision.
I'm not talking about a friend, exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret, after all. But, after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking, and... well, I found out she's still alive. In Denerim.
Have you contacted
No.
her?
I thought about writing her, but I never did. And then we were called down to Ostagar, and I never got the chance. She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the Blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
We can try.
Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Okay.
Look at you.
Oh.
Your weary stance. The dark circles under your eyes. Poor man. All this constant walking has gotten to you. Do you know what you need? My thought is this. We retire to your tent, and I show you the sort of massage skills that one only learns growing up in an Antivan whorehouse.
Well, now. Are you suggesting what I think
If
you are?
you mean to ask whether or not there might be more than a massage involved, allow me simply to say that you won't be disappointed with any of the techniques I've picked up over the years.
I love you, Zevran. Yes.
A willing victim it is. And if I might ask, if the opportunity to proceed past the massage should present itself.
Sure, I'll think
Then
of
why are
something.
we still talking?
This is a very long pause. Okay. Like, that was a very long pause. These scenes in Origins are so awkward and weird. We all know I'm the top in this relationship. Is that a loot?
See? I knew this would happen eventually. I should have warned you right from the moment you refused to kill me. It was inevitable.
Too bad it wasn't more enjoyable. Holy shit.
It's true. They used to issue warnings about me at the Antivan border. Ah, good old days. So then, as the priestess so famously said to the handsome actor, what now?
How do I know this isn't part of your plan?
This is true. Seducing the assassination target is a sound tactical choice. Do you know there are poisons that I can ingest which would be harmless to me and yet be already killing you as we speak?
Is that denial?
Are we not past this? I thought we were. Allow me to say this. I am no longer in the business of attempting to kill you. Not only would it gain me little at this point, it also happens to be incredibly hard. But even so, is it not a little late for such suspicions? The die is cast, so to speak. And cast rather well, I might add.
What does this
Allow
mean?
me to make it simple for you, my Grey Warden. What comes next is entirely...
I don't remember the correct
I was
decisions
raised
to
to
make.
take my pleasures where they could be found, for they do not come very often. I shall ask nothing more of you than you are willing to give.
What about love?
I was born of a whore and bred as an assassin. All I know is of pleasure and death. What room is there on these things for love, huh? At any rate, we should be on our way. A new day awaits us, or so the rumor goes.
But what if... What? What? Why was there disapproval? What? What do you mean? No.
You wish to talk? Ah, good. I have a question for you. How well versed are you in poetry? Antivan poetry, specifically. Trust me, you'll know even less once I tell you this. It was recited to me, as I recall, by a rather wealthy target of mine. Let's see. The symphony I see in thee, it whispers songs to me. Songs of hot breath upon my neck. Songs of soft grants by my head. Songs of hands on muscled back. Songs of thee come to my bed.
Oh dear.
Oh, I know, I know. I couldn't believe that she thought this would actually convince me to spare her. I had sex with her anyway, but that goes without saying. She still had to die. The poem was amusing at the time, however, and thus I've always remembered it.
Why are you telling
And
me?
I thought you might be cheered up by some naughty poetry. You simply look so grim. Such an unflattering expression for such a handsome face.
You think I'm handsome, do you?
Ah, who wouldn't? Burn me in the chantry if you must, but you're a man to stoke the lust in women and other men alike. Surely you know this, and you're playing with me. Me, I tend to make the best of whatever situation I find myself in, stealing what moments I can. It's served me well most days. You might learn to do the same.
I think I will.
Oh? Then I learn something new about you every day. Enough poetry, I think. The time has come for traveling and the murdering of villains and whatever else passes for adventuring these days.
What is I?
You call?
I'm gonna discuss something
Again?
personal.
I'm game.
So, are we together? What's happening?
Can I respond in poetry? No? How sad. My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
Yes.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the Crows. They've killed kings and queens. That is simply how it is. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
After killing her?
Yes, but not on purpose, actually.
Oh yeah, she
The woman
fell, didn't
eventually
she?
convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around.
Except for the
I
mage.
suppose, but she was dead. She didn't need to be happy. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
So you never mix?
Well, there is you. But I'll point out that you did have to capture me and tie me up first. Every rule has its exception. Now that I've mentioned tying me up in that context, do we have extra rope about?
Well now. Zevran.
You call?
This is just
Can
going to be
I
a talking to
respond in
Zevran
poetry?
episode.
No? How sad.
That's all this is going to be.
Again? Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once. No, I'll not inflict that upon you just yet. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Azrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
I doubt it.
Prince Azrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire crow cell from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Azrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells. Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
What did you do?
My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history. I had to find my way back to the safe house, bruised and naked, and thankful to be alive. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
What about the one specific story?
Can I respond in poetry? No? How's that?
That we're going to end up...
I wouldn't have spoken about it before, but you have been a good friend. There is no reason for me not to speak of it now. There is a reason I accepted this mission in Ferelden, far away from home, and it had nothing to do with any thought that I might leave the crows. Meeting you, after all, was quite an accident. My last mission before this one did not end well. You must realize that until that day I was cocky and arrogant. I was the best crow in Antiva, I believed, and I bragged of my conquests often, both as an assassin and lover.
You were more?
Indeed. I was often told I was insufferable, right before I ended up in bed with someone. Such is how it was. One of the crow masters grew tired of my boasting. My bid for an incredibly difficult mark was accepted, much to my surprise. A wealthy merchant with many guards and completely silent. Taliesin agreed to be part of my team, as well as an elven lass named Rina. She was a marvel. Tough, smooth, wicked. Eyes that gleamed like justice. Everything I thought I desired. Rina was special. I had closed off my heart, I thought. But she touched something within me. It frightened me. When Taliesin revealed to me that Rina had accepted a bribe from the merchant, told him of our plan, I readily agreed that she needed to pay the price and allowed Taliesin to kill her. Rina begged me not to. On her knees, with tears in her eyes, she told me that she loved me and had not betrayed us. I laughed in her face and said that even if it were true, I didn't care. I convinced myself it was. Taliesin cut her throat, and I watched her bleed as she stared up at me. I spat on her for betraying the crows. When Taliesin and I finally assassinated the merchant, we found the true source of his information. Rina had not betrayed us, after all. I wanted to tell the crows what we had done, our mistake. Taliesin convinced me not to. He said it would be a foolish waste. So we reported that Rina had died in the attempt. We needn't have bothered. The crows knew what we had done. The master who disliked me told me so to my face. He said the crows knew, and they didn't care. And one day, my turn would come. To rub it in my face, perhaps. That I was nothing. That she was nothing. You once asked why I wanted to leave the crows. In truth, what I wanted was to die. What better way than to throw myself at one of the fabled Grey Wardens? And then, this happened. And here I am.
Oh, cookies!
It feels good to speak of it to someone. I swore I never would. Whatever it is I sought by leaving Antiva, I think I have found it. I owe you a great deal.
I'm glad to have you with me.
Let us return to your mission, shall we? Suddenly, I do not feel like standing about.
This is just going to be a talking episode. I don't think I'll camp at all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you will, and have a great day.